I'm Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. I created Species Nutrition with one mission in mind: to provide bodybuilders and serious athletes with no-nonsense supplements that work and are backed by science. From my earliest bodybuilding days, I believed in only putting the best in my body, and that lives on in the Species Nutrition line of products. We use only top-of-the-line formulations dosed for maximum results and the best flavoring systems available. I put my name and reputation on every bottle of Species Nutrition products. If you want to be your absolute best, join the evolution.
After working hard at the gym, you need a mattress that works as hard as you do. Spinalign has engineered the perfect mattress for you and your active lifestyle. Don't compromise your recovery with inferior sleep. Order your Spinalign mattress today.
Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today I have an exciting guest here. He's an old friend of mine, and a lot of you guys know him as the man who discovered 8-time Mr. Olympia Ronnie Coleman, and he's also the man who has one of the most fastest growing gym chains out there. He started it all on his own. I don't think a lot of people thought it would survive, but Metroflex has been growing by leaps and bounds, and it's my pleasure to get my good friend Brian Dobson back to the show. What's going on, Brian?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing out there?
I didn't realize you had that many franchises of Metroflex. I mean, I know there's been a bunch out there recently. I know Louis Uridell opened one in Oceanside, but I didn't know there was that many of them. What number are you up to now?
We're at 15 across the country in Texas now. Yes, sir.
You're displacing Golds in Powerhouse pretty soon, you know?
Well, that would be wonderful, but I mean, we don't really, I don't look at it as really, a battle between us. I mean, we have a certain niche of people. We really do cater to the competitor in bodybuilding, powerlifting, strength sports. Anybody who wants to really train hard. Of course, I mean, we used to be, girls were afraid to come here. Now, women are really thriving in this environment and making tremendous gains. And typically, once they do this type of training, the hardcore, sweating and all that. So, what they used to be afraid of, now they're making such good gains. A lot of them are coming to this type of environment and absolutely love it and can't train anywhere else.
Brian, I got to tell you, you have tremendous endurance in the sense that you've been running a gym for a very long time now. A lot of guys get burnt out on it and they don't want to do it anymore. And you're expanding now. How do you stay? Yep. How do you keep it fresh, and how do you keep it so that you look forward to going to work every day?
Well, I mean, like everybody, we get spoiled and we forget our blessings. I mean, I'm no different than any other person. And there's days that I'm thinking, man, this is rough, getting up early, getting here, training people day in, day out. But then when I look at all the great things I've been blessed with, and, it's been 33 years since I opened this gym. And,
amazing.
It really doesn't seem like that long ago, I mean, every once in a while somebody will show up from the past and, just bring back a barrage of memories. While we were closed down for the coronavirus stuff, we did a lot of cleaning here. The whole gym is redone.
Cleaned it? Come on, Brian. Don't tell me you cleaned the gym. No way.
Well, I mean, we always cleaned it, but I mean, it's noticeable. The hardcore area is still the same.
Okay, all right. I was getting worried there for a second.
But the bathrooms, that was always a problem with the girls.
Right.
Our bathrooms were horrible, and they're absolutely beautiful now, man. And I mean, I take a lot of pride in them.
Right.
People are keeping them clean on their own now when they didn't used to. I've got automatic soap dispensers. I've got an automatic hand dryer. And,
how many cardio pieces of equipment you got in the gym now?
Man, we've got 3 treadmills. 3 good treadmills.
Yeah.
A couple stair climbers. I've got a couple spin bikes.
Right.
We really got rid of some pieces because I wasn't sure what the rules were going to be coming back. Like if we were going to have them all 6 feet apart.
Right.
So we basically have everything 6 feet apart, and that's all we could really fit over there. But here, a lot of people do cardio outside. We do a lot of different types of cardio, dragging a sled, running, sprinting, things that are really more effective and less time consuming as well.
You were a guy who didn't succumb to putting air conditioning, modern conveniences in your gym when that was all the rage, 10, 15 years ago. And people thought you were crazy. And now it seems like that's kind of coming back in vogue. Like, hey, we can do this. If you want to train, you shouldn't need all those like modern conveniences. You got to sweat a little bit. You got to, it's got to be hard, And did you think everything people would come around to your way? And did you do it initially to save money, or did you do it because you felt that was a hardcore environment?
Both. At the beginning, that's all I could afford, of course. But, I was so broke I couldn't pay attention back then. But now, we could, I guess. But I mean, to me, the training, it's good to do it in the heat. It's 95 degrees outside in the gym right now. I just got done training a gal, and everybody's in there hitting it hard. I think it works better. You warm up better. I mean, I don't think it's great to be in there doing a 3-hour workout at 95 degrees, obviously, but you just have to be smart. Just keep drinking water, stay hydrated.
Right.
I enjoy training in the heat myself, even now after all these years. There are times, it takes a while to get used to it. It's just really now getting hot again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Monday was it was a little rough, because I'm down here 12 hours, whatever. You're like, man, I'm gonna get into some AC. But if it gets too bad, man, I'll get in my truck, drive around the block, or whatever. All right.
I saw you still have air conditioning in that little office, nook you got there.
This office I'm in here has no air conditioning. It's probably about like a sauna in here right now. I don't even know how to say.
I thought he had dirt on his camera lens. It was actually the moisture in the air that it was.
Probably is.
But you know what? You took that business model and you duplicated it, and people responded and opened gyms that tried to mimic the way your gym looked. Distressed, hardcore, and it caught on, and people love it. And I see them popping up all over the country. And that's like the new rage. That's a new thing to do. Why do you think all of a sudden people felt some kind of a kinship with this gym? Is it that they feel abandoned by all the big chain gyms? Is that where you think it's going?
I think so. Especially if you're a real competitor and someone that really wants to go somewhere, it's a struggle. It's a battle, and it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It's not easy to become a pro bodybuilder.
Sure.
It's not easy to become a pro bikini girl or whatever. You have to put a huge amount of effort in. And these type of places, we support that. We support that fight. We support that battle. We give them all the help we can, all the advice we can. Typically going to a giant corporate gym, especially, the girls, of course, are always welcome. No one wants to turn away a beautiful woman. But the monsters, that can be another story.
Yeah.
They're in there, they drop a weight, whatever. We have a gym going in right down the street from us. I drove right by it about 2 hours ago. They're investing millions into this place. They're actually right across the street from a fitness connection that already has like 28,000 members or something like that. And but they have it's kind of like a giant Planet Fitness. I mean, they have like one of their big things is no intimidation. Like if somebody,
oh boy,
no flexing, no arrogance or something like that.
That's what weight training's about, man. Arrogance. You got to be arrogant to lift that much weight, man, right?
Exactly. So I don't know if an alarm goes off if somebody starts making gains and feels proud of himself. I don't know, but obviously that's a different niche of folks that are going to be there, and God bless them and wish them well. But it's a different blueprint for sure, and I think nowadays everybody trains, like when you were in your heyday and coming up, I'm sure it was. You were almost looked upon as a freak, because you were so huge
Absolutely.
and so developed, and it wasn't normal. And now, I mean, obviously the level you got to, and guys like Ronnie and them, that's still not normal. But there's so many people now that just train. I mean, and look good.
Yeah.
There's the gene pool has expanded so much. I mean, you have these freaks. There's everybody knows that guy that doesn't work out, eats donuts, and drinks cokes, and smokes cigarettes. He's got an 18-inch arm with a peak on it, or something. Yeah, didn't even do anything. I mean, I do a lot of outreaches in the community, and I mean, I always have someone come, oh man, you must work out. I go, yeah, I worked out. Been working out for 45 years actually or longer. And then. Yeah, everybody tells me I should work out, and boom, like yeah, you probably should,
Well, we know that you're very good at spotting talent, Brian, because and a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people have heard the story, but a lot of people have not heard the story. You spotted talent when Ronnie Coleman walked into your gym for the first time. What year was that again?
Oh gosh, that would have been, I believe, 1990.
1990, Ronnie Coleman walks into the gym. Had he had any formal bodybuilding training at that point, other than sports?
Had I?
Had Ronnie had any?
Ronnie had just played football, done some powerlifting in high school.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, he played at Grambling, which is a big football school.
Sure.
I mean, he learned a lot about discipline there, a lot about hard work there, and he loved to train. Probably if I had him right then, he would probably always would have trained, but more as a hobby.
Gotcha.
Obviously, of course, I saw that kind of potential. I'm like, oh my gosh, the first day I told him, I said, man, you be Mr. Olympia. He's like, what's that,
Now, when you said that to him, look, I've said that to people too, because I see these genetic freaks on the street. When you said that to him, I'm sure it was like tongue in cheek, like as a joke in a sense, but in a sense, it really wasn't. You probably would have loved, you wanted to see what potential he had, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was. We immediately started training for a contest. I mean, literally within the first week, we had a goal. I remember on Ronnie's first, big real competition. It was the Mr. Texas, and it was kind of a gray, misty dawn. And I picked him up, and you could tell he was nervous. And I remember I played the Rocky soundtrack all the way to Dallas. Man, I just kept telling him it's going to be fine, man. I go, once you hit that first double bicep pose, these people are going to see what you really are all about, and you're going to be overwhelmed by the response. And that's exactly what happened. And from there, he went on to, within 1 year, won every show he went to. He didn't win the Nationals that year. I forget what he placed. I think he got fourth.
He was fifth. I think he was fifth. Levrone won.
But then he went to the
World Championships.
Got to go to that and qualified for that, and there he won. And I remember getting that call like 3 o'clock in the morning from Katowice, Poland, and boy, he was happy. And and then that was the start, man.
The amazing thing that was Ronnie was 100% natural right at that point.
100% natural, yeah.
He probably was the only bodybuilder to ever win the World Championships all natural. I have to imagine, for real. I mean.
Yep. Probably the only one to ever win a IFBB Pro show all natural.
That just goes to show you that if there were no performance-enhancing drugs in sports, Ronnie would still have been he might have been Mr. Olympia for 10 years. Who knows? Maybe more.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
He was a true freak, man.
Yeah, unbelievable. How is Ronnie doing? Do you talk to him on a regular basis? He still come to the gym?
Pretty regular. I mean, he's doing good. I mean, he's training at home now. He's still a little worried about the coronavirus and stuff,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Let me ask you a question. I mean, Ronnie probably almost better than anyone. I mean, you guys have been friends for years. Does Ronnie have any regrets, related to his? I know he says he doesn't, but do you think that Ronnie has any regrets, given his, physical condition now with all the back, issues?
I don't feel that he does. He says he doesn't. I mean, he always jokes around. He goes, "I just wish I'd have done that 805 for 5 to 3 or something like that." And I mean, I remember that day distinctly. I mean, he had no issues that day with anything. I think a lot of his stuff probably came from some messed up surgeries,
Yeah, it's really a shame. He had some bad doctors. I don't know.
And I don't know, I mean, obviously very few people on earth have ever lifted the weights that he lifted and the amount of reps he lifted heavyweight for. And, I kind of look at him, I look at myself, I never weighed 300 pounds. I mean, the biggest I ever was probably 250. Yeah. When he was squatting 600 for 10, I was doing 500 for 8 or whatever, or vice versa. I mean, I was always lifting, to a normal person, I was Hercules, but compared to him, nothing, but I mean, now, I mean, I'm kind of like you, I mean, I've got a shoulder replacement.
Right.
I've got a knee replacement in my right knee, which that's actually been a blessing. That I haven't had any really issues with that. It's been 4 months. I did 1,000 for 20 on the leg press yesterday.
What? Wow.
And it didn't bother me. I did a 335 for 8 in the squat. I mean, I don't break parallel anymore.
Right.
But, I'm there, and.
Are you concerned? I don't lift heavy anymore, Brian, just because I don't want to wear out the replacements. I lift, but I don't lift heavy because right. I'm afraid that, I might shorten the lifespan of the replacement.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like the shoulder replacement I got is I don't have the plastic lining in my shoulder.
Oh, you got the ream and run.
I just have the metal ball.
Gotcha, the resurfacing.
Yeah. And I do have some issues with that because I still play baseball.
Oh.
And if I throw too much, I'll definitely feel it. I mean, obviously, I'm not throwing 300 feet anymore. I'm lucky to probably throw, I mean, I can get it to home plate from first base. That's about it. But I can hit. I can still hit. So.
Wow, nice. Yeah, the surgeon told me, he said, look, he goes, if I do a partial on you, which is what you got, they just kind of ream out the acetabulum there where the head of the humerus goes. He's like, you're going to probably be still in pain. He said, you might be able to do more in terms of lifting heavier weights without worrying about breaking it, but you're going to be in a little bit of pain. And I said, right. Well, I don't want to be in any pain. So he did a complete, I got a reverse shoulder actually, and I am, knock on wood, pain-free, and I can lift pain-free. I'm just afraid I don't want to push it beyond, I don't want to push my luck, so to speak, because I'm happy that I'm out of pain and I could do pretty much, I could throw a football, I could throw a baseball, I could do nice. Pretty much everything, which to me, I could swim, stuff. These are things I couldn't do for 20 years,
Oh, yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my range of motion is so much better now. I mean,
it's like someone gave you a second chance almost. I didn't think that there was that. I thought I was stuck like that the rest of my life. I didn't think that the replacements were that good, but evidently now the shoulders are really good. So.
What do you do bench press anymore? Or
yeah,
dumbbell?
Yeah. I have no pain on it.
How much weight?
I won't go more than like 185. I mean, I can do more, but I don't because I don't want to put. I'm scared, to be honest with you. It's too. You know what it is? It feels too good, Brian, and I'm afraid I'm going to push it because we have like a no pain. Like there's something wrong with us bodybuilders. We can shut off pain, and I'm afraid I'll shut it off too long.
Exactly. Well, that's good. I'm glad that's working, man.
These doctors don't understand. They're like, he's like, how much you lifting? I said, I'm not lifting a lot at all. I do like one. He's like, that's a lot of weight. I said, but it's easy. I said, it's easy for me. They don't understand that we have a different concept of what they consider to be normal.
Exactly.
And I think that's what Ronnie's fault is. Ronnie's so used to everything being so light for him that he doesn't understand that, with his injuries, you just can't lift that heavy. Even though it feels light, it's putting too much stress on whatever hardware he's got in there. I think. I
mean, from what I've seen personally with his stuff, he doesn't. I mean, he holds back. On a lot of stuff. He just does more reps.
Yeah.
It's just like the leg stuff is what he really struggles with because it was the back deal.
Right.
he was kind of getting pretty strong again. I remember he was doing like 800 on the leg press.
Oh.
I was kind of looking at him like, man, I don't know is that a good idea or not? When, those screws, I mean, they were bent. I mean, he showed them to me. I'm like, dang, man, that's your back.
Probably in the history of surgeries, they never saw that before, I'm sure.
They look like big drywall screws, man, and nails in.
And he bent them. I think
it's the same kind of stuff you put in an 80-year-old woman, but, maybe they should have put some heavier stuff in it.
Right.
8-time Mr. Olympia.
Unbelievable. Now, you've also had, obviously, other champions. Branch Warren is another person, Johnny Jackson, who trained at your gym. I mean, you've had a litany of great bodybuilders, and they all have that same work ethic, that do or die,
super hard,
laid on the line, Yeah.
I mean, they all train very heavy. I mean, I was training a client next to Branch and Johnny the other day, and I'm just watching them, and I'm kind of like, that's kind of how we do it, And Branch was rowing. I got our dumbbell. We go all the way up to 300 on dumbbell.
Wow.
And he had a 250-pound dumbbell, and he's just one arm rowing, heaving that thing like a maniac. And then he didn't really slam it, but he just like dropped it, and it broke the damn handle. And it's so hard to replace those. Of course, he's looking at me, like almost like sorry, Dad. I'm like, like I didn't throw it down. I said, man, it's okay. But the hard thing is that, see, you got to take that to a machine shop now. I mean, you can't just
buy another. It's a lot of weight on there. Yeah.
To replace those, oh my God! I mean, I don't even know what that would cost now. I mean, I bought him oh gosh, man, because we had broken we broke like the 160, so we were kind of like, we had a big jump, like a 150 to 180 to 200 to 225 to 250.
That's a big jump, Brian, too.
So he's like, man, I kind of need the 160, so I bought a pair.
Yeah.
And I mean, that alone was well over $1,000.
Wow! Holy moly!
Just because it's, they're high dollar now, man.
You got to get some guy in your gym who's like a metal welder, just to weld you, like make a huge one piece.
We do. Basically, I just kind of, basically as stuff breaks, I pile it in a corner, and every weekend he comes and welds, man.
You got to have a donation box in the gym there.
It really helps. We've got several guys that are good at welding. Somebody broke a T-bar row here the other day, Monday, and I got a guy, he works, because we have a lot of oil field workers that come in here. And that's when he welds. And I said, hey, man, you think you could hit this up tomorrow? I said, because I'm going to need it for back. And he brought it back in the day, had it all fixed up.
See, that's what you got to do. You got to recruit the members. There's always some guy who has a special skill in your gym. You just got to find them, that's all.
Absolutely.
Now, Brian, if people want to do a franchise, what does that actually entail? Like, if I want to open a Metroflex franchise here in Cape Coral, Florida, what do I have to do? Give me the process of what it is.
Well, I don't really do a franchise. We call it a trademark licensing program.
Right. Okay.
Franchise, it's too much control, but it's also, to me, too much liability. I don't want to be responsible for everything these people do.
Right.
So we don't do an actual franchise. Basically, they get all the benefits, but it's very simple. You can just contact me.
Right.
You can go to our website, metroflexgym.com. It's like your own hardcore dream. It's got a very small, questionnaire you fill out, and that'll come right to me. And then we just, we talk about it. Of course, it's not the perfect fit for everybody.
Right.
But it would be a dream come true to see 100 Metroflex gyms across the nation.
Yeah. No.
Really going, and it's simple. For the amount of money, really, of course, we in that ad I talk about, for the price of a new car, you can start your own gym, and literally you can. And you don't have to have all that super brand new expensive equipment. There's really, for this style of gym, you're better off without it. You really are.
Refurbished equipment, yeah.
And and then also the older stuff is stronger. If you fit your place with a bunch of old Nautilus stuff and things like that, stuff that doesn't break all the time, you're really better off. And of course, like when I started this place, I think the only machines I had was I had a lat pull down, I had a leg press with rubber wheels and all that kind of crap. You know, I mean, it wasn't that great, but you know, our main thing was weights.
Sure.
You know, dumbbells and barbells and squat racks and bench presses.
That's what builds muscle, man. That's what does it.
Exactly.
What do you like? Is there specifications that you want for a gym? Like, does it have to be a certain amount of space? What does it have to look like? Does it have to have a certain look to it? Like, what makes a Metroflex a Metroflex?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hardcore. You know, they got to have good quality bars and equipment. Like, even though, you know, it could be small, the stuff has to be good. I mean, you don't want to go somewhere where you put 500 pounds on a power rack and go to shrug it and the bar bends. You know, right. I mean, like will happen at most corporate gyms. You know, the majority of bars we have here are very heavy duty. So, you know, there's a little investment in the bars. You got to have dumbbells up to 200 pounds because most places go to 120. It's not a requirement, but we think it's a good idea that they have some strongman training equipment because, I mean, not everybody competes in strongman, but a lot of people like to do that stuff.
Sure.
And you know, if they want to air condition it, that's fine. You know, they've got to play motivating music at all times because that's important. You know, I mean, and that's a hard thing to do to please everybody. I mean, here, you know, I'm looking around yesterday and, you know, we literally have every race, creed, ethnicity, color, whatever you want to say, all at one time. And everybody gets along great here. I mean, you know, there's no rioting, no one hating on anybody. It's just it's all about training hard. And everybody, like, loves each other, man. And, you know, and you try to kind of mix up the music to please everybody, you know. And that's kind of a hard thing at times. But, you know, you figure it out. But, you know, we allow chalk. You know, you got to have a platform to do deadlifts and things like that. You got to have a freestanding squat rack, but it's all things that you would want to have anyway. You know, it's not really a burden on these people. Mm-hmm. You know, if they want to go beyond that and buy the best brand new equipment, that's wonderful too. You know, I mean, but things like hammer strength, right? You know, just old school things that work. You know, that's what I recommend to them when I talk.
Gotcha. So you can make the gym your own, but it has to be a hardcore place. And do you have to approve the final like outcome, the final like, you know, rendition of it, or is it once they kind of sign up and you get a good feel for the person that they're going to be doing the right thing, they're on their own? Is that how it works?
I mean, I'm going to approve everything at the end, more or less. But it's, you know, the people that do this, they're going to want it to be that way. You know, I mean, it's not going to be. They're not going to turn it into a foo-foo place. You know, obviously, I mean, if they did, they would have bought into a different.
Sure.
You know,
of course.
You know, so, you know, I mean, we've never had any issues with any of that. You know, really, we've had nothing but blessings. You know, the one thing I tell them is, I said, man, you've got to be prepared to work and work hard. I mean, the gyms that have not done well are the ones typically where the guy may have a lot of money, but then he may have another job that produces that big income. Mm-hmm. So he down there at, you know, 7, 8 o'clock at night, closes at 10, and he has other people running the gym for him. Right. And typically are the ones that don't do well. Right.
How many hours a day are you at that gym, Brian?
Man, I still work 12 hours a day pretty much. You know?
Wow. And how many hours a day you open?
Man, we're open from like 4 a.m. till midnight.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you're...
Yeah, there's trainers down here that early, you know, so, I mean, I don't advertise 4 a.m., but but we let people in if they want to train.
That's awesome. But that's a hardcore gym for you. That's one of the components of it.
Yep, exactly.
Now, do you recommend that these gyms, or do the gyms sell supplements and nutritional stuff and do shakes? Yep. I mean, or is it?
A lot of them do. Like, you know, some of them have full-blown, beautiful pro shops.
Right.
You know, here I don't anymore, just for the fact that we literally have, my gosh, I mean, probably 7 or 8, you know, from GNC to individual ownership type stores, all within a mile or two here. Right. I mean, there's many. I mean, in fact, pretty much the owners of these other stores all work out here, which is cool, you know.
It's hard with the internet, you know.
I let them promote their products here to people and give out coupons and things like that as well.
Right. Well, Brian, I love the fact that the franchise is growing, that you're spreading the hardcore word. You're one of the real, I guess you could say, in the trenches guys that is still in the trenches after all these years, because that's a testament to the fact that you really love training, and that's what it's about. If you're going to own a gym, and I always tell people this, people always ask me, hey Dave, why didn't you open your own gym? I said, you know what? I love to train myself, but I don't love to be in the training environment all the time because I have a lot of other things that I want to do. So if you're not willing to give your life and soul and blood to your business, you shouldn't open a business. You have to be willing to sacrifice and be there all the time. I tell people all the time, Steve Weinberger, okay, who's a very successful businessman. He makes a lot of money now. He's been working hard for the last 40 years at that. He's still at that gym every single day for, like you are, 12 hours or more a day. And that's why the gym is successful. You got to be at the gym if you're going to have a successful gym. You can't be an absentee owner. And
exactly.
That's the message. If you want to open your own Metroflex, you better be willing to be at that gym and work that gym, or you will fail.
And in reality, you were saying earlier, having that passion. I mean, it's anytime I've had like a bad time in my life, usually the way I get through it is I try to help other people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could walk out here as soon as we're done this interview. I guarantee there's somebody out here who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
And I go there and go, like, hey man, I'm going to give you some of my time and spend 30 minutes with that kid. It might change his life.
Absolutely.
Who knows? Might be our next pro to come out of here 5 years from now. I mean, you just don't know. We have people who actually show up here. I've got a kid here right now who's from Jamaica.
Right.
And he moved to the States. And he didn't like where he was, and he came from there to here. And he's literally living. He got a job with one of the other businesses in this business park. Mm-hmm. He sleeps in their office at night.
Oh my God!
And then he trains here now. And like the other day he was kind of down. He's a lot of things going. I mean, for one thing, he's sleeping in a place with no air conditioning. It's got to be hot as crap at night. Which I told him that happened, but he's tough, man, and he wants it so bad. And he's like, I don't care. He said, man, just tell me I got a chance because I just want to win a contest. I said, man, you got a chance, man. I go, I'll never tell someone they can't win a contest, And with him, his genetics, I mean, this kid's a giant. He's 6'7".
Wow.
He's like, everybody says I have to weigh 400 pounds. I said, man, you don't got to weigh 400 pounds. Just stay solid, keep getting bigger. It's a process, man. I go, It's not going to happen overnight. I said, but don't ever give up and just, and he trains legs. He did legs with me yesterday. As a matter of fact, we're talking about the knee replacement stuff. When I did that 1,000 for 20, he's like, oh, I have to do more because you have a broken leg. And
you got to send him to Vince McMahon in the WWE, man. That's where he's got to go.
So he put on 1,300 pounds, and he did. I think he got 10 or 12. He's like, come on, Mr. Dobson, try it. I'm like, hell no, I ain't trying that, man. I think 1,000 is going to be my limit, and we're going to be more reps.
Yeah.
But, he had that desire, and, I mean, that's what's so cool about this place. I mean, just to see the people's desire, to want to compete, to want to win. I mean, and it's not just bodybuilding now. I mean, I got another kid I'm training. His dream is to be a pro baseball player.
Right.
He weighed 130 pounds when I started with him 2 years ago. He's 195 now. Just got assigned a scholarship.
Wow.
And I mean, it's just cool to see them develop. In something outside of bodybuilding as well.
Sure.
Of course, his training is different. I train him on nothing but like kind of explosive movements. Once in a while, we'll do some bodybuilding style stuff because and this kid, and he loves to train legs. I mean, we do legs twice a week to the death, man. And he just, it's paid off for him, I mean,
I think these young guys keep you young, Brian. That's what I think.
What's that?
I think all these young guys in the gym, these upcoming guys, they keep you young. That's what it is.
Exactly. No, it does. I mean, I'm 63 now.
Are you really? I didn't realize that you were that old. Oh my God! Wow, you look great, Brian.
Well, thank you, man.
You look exactly the same as you did 15 years ago when I met you.
I don't know about that. I got a little more body fat right now.
Maybe, but I'm saying you still got you got all your hair. You look great.
Well, thank you. But yeah, I could still, every once in a while I think about, man, I ought to see what I'd look like to get back down, and I'll start getting down. I'll get down to about 10% body fat. Then I'll go buy some pizza or something. Yeah. It's just I like that part of my life.
Would you compete again? Masters, Nationals, over 60?
I've thought about it. But then I'm kind of like, it's such a commitment, and
it
so,
absolutely is. It absolutely is. Yeah.
And I know how I am, and if I go, I'm not going to go half-ass. I want to win, And,
sure, of course. Are you doing any hunting still?
We still do. When we were shut down, of course, that was a great opportunity. So, and the weather was perfect. So,
yeah,
we wiped out quite a few hogs over that time. We'd go during the day,
right?
Because the temperature was nice. I don't have the dogs behind the gym anymore. In fact, I don't own any dogs anymore. All my dogs have died off. And,
oh wow!
But the guy that you went with us with, Chad, the last, he still has the dogs, and there's a lot of hunting right around his house there. And in fact, the last time we literally let the dogs go from his back porch and just took off after him because we have permission to go on all those ranches.
Right.
I think we got 5 that day.
Wow, 5! Oh my God, yeah, that's a lot. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a good hunt, man. And then, they're definitely not the population is not going down in the hog world. I mean, if anything, it's going up. They're hunting with everything from helicopters to night hunting's a big thing now.
Yeah.
By these Branch has got some crazy stuff, and he's got some crazy weapons with these night vision optics. It's fun to me. The dog thing is still the funnest.
Yeah, I like the old. When I went with you. The 2 times we went, I like the whole dog thing. I like it's almost like a science of figuring out how to do it, the old-fashioned way,
Yep, and it's so much work to get those good dogs. I mean, we got 2 right now that are so good. I mean, we don't take very many anymore. Like when we go now, we usually take 3 bay dogs at the most, and then 2 pit bulls, and then the bay dogs. This one we have, I mean, he is so good, man. I mean, I trust him 100% on everything, and just
wow.
Basically, if I'm running it, I just let him go out. I keep all the other dogs, close by.
Yeah.
And now we have so much science. I mean, the GPS and all that it's developed so much. It's totally different than how it used to be. And you literally just look down on your GPS and you can tell if they're standing still. You can tell if they're running in a circle. You can tell all this stuff. You can tell exactly where. And then from there, you might feed the other dogs to them, and then get up there and get in close and let the bulldog go and catch him, just like always.
Yeah, what people don't realize is that Brian, when he hunts, he doesn't hunt with guns. They hunt with actual dogs, and each dog has its own duty. One sniffs out the trail, one finds him, one barks, and they surround him, and then the pit bulls go in and grab them and hold them, and then they go in there with the knives, and it's like old-fashioned hunting. So it's more of a sport rather than just sitting there with a rifle and shooting something.
It's harder for sure.
And it's a little dangerous because those wild hogs have those big horns. They can really take you out pretty good. Well, those tusks, I should say.
We lost 2 dogs last week.
Oh, really? Yeah, you lost a dog when I went with you that one time too.
Yep, exactly.
But
it's actually very rare. Sometimes you'll go 2 years without that happening, and then all of a sudden, just sometimes like 2 in 1 week.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. But it definitely is a sport. It definitely is a sport. And I know you use, you guys either eat all the meat or you donate it to your charity. So it's, you're not just hunting for the sake of sport. You're actually feeding people with the animals as well. And
we're doing an outreach this Saturday with the ones I got from that hunt I just described.
Yeah, that's something that I really respect about you as a person. You give a lot back. You don't really you're not a guy motivated by money. You're a guy motivated by helping people. And I think that comes off when people meet you. You can sense your sincerity, and I think that's why people like to surround themselves with you, because you give off a really good energy about yourself.
Well, like I said, I've been very blessed. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you have a book too. You wrote a couple years ago. I read it. It's your hero walks on water, right? My hero walks on water. Is that the name of it? It's a story of your life and how you met Ronnie Coleman and your belief in your faith. I thought it was a really well written book. And wait, are you still selling those on your website?
Man, we're pretty much out of them, man.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I have a collector's item then, because mine's signed by you too. So.
I never sold any myself. I just gave them away. And,
Yeah.
I've got a few here. Like when people from out of town come in, I give them clothes.
Yeah, it's a good motivational book. But Brian, I'm so happy that you're doing well with the franchise. I'm glad the gym's back open again. With this whole COVID craziness, and bless you, and best of luck, and of course keep us updated, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
Yes, sir, Dave.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.